Hi everybody, I'm Rolling Crows and welcome to my channel. So happy to have you here today. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you on Grateful Dead and Grateful Dead fans and why I really just hate the Grateful Dead, to be honest. Because, you know, when I first came into adulthood, I met a lot of Grateful Dead fans and I thought they were like super cool people, right? Like, I really I vibed with them. I won't lie. I thought they were cool. But here's the thing, I met Grateful Dead fan after Grateful Dead fan, and I got the feeling that, I just didn't fit in. Like, they didn't not like me per se, but we weren't like friends, you know? You know what I mean? But I met a lot of cool Grateful Dead fans, but I always wondered, like, why don't I feel accepted in this community? And here's what I think. It's because I'm not enough like them. And even though Grateful Dead fans preach individuality and non-conformity, it is in a sense strictly conformity because of their whole subculture. I feel, and the more I thought about it, the more I came to this conclusion that, the whole collectiveness, the shared experience of being at a Grateful Dead show that everyone talks about, like, oh, it goes so much deeper than the music, bro. You gotta go to the concert. But here's the thing, it's this spirit of the concert, right? And I was thinking, like, that community spirit isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think community spirit is a great thing when we all share a connection. And I think in our natural states, if we weren't so tuned into ourselves and our own egos and our own personal environment, our phones, our cell, and if we shared the experience of the world around us, maybe we'd feel more like a Grateful Dead fan as a society, in the sense that we'd feel this sort of connectedness and this shared experience, which so many people in day-to-day life, including Grateful Dead fans, are missing out on in their immediate vicinity. It's kind of a shame that you have to travel all the way to a Grateful Dead show to experience that shared connection. At least that's my opinion. I think that should be a community thing. And I think it should be just more common than at a Grateful Dead show, because that's really where I hear it coming from. And when I talk to Grateful Dead fans, it's like this is their source of that community spirit. And it's that sense of belonging, right? And they travel show after show. You can travel all across the US, all across the world as a Deadhead. I mean, they've got a really, like, dedicated fan base that does this. And I just think of this spirit, right? Because we all have individual spirits. And I watch Grateful Dead fans evolve from when they first become a Grateful Dead fan to when they're like a Deadhead, right? Like, and I've noticed that their individual spirit dies. And maybe that's why they're called Grateful Dead, because it's like your own personal spirit conformed. Dead, perhaps, grateful to be dead, because it seems sometimes like these Grateful Dead fans, these Deadheads, they don't care about progress. They don't really, even though they preach, social liberation and change and all this stuff, they're like hippies, right? It just seems like they go nowhere. And it seems like the whole point of that concert and that mindset is to keep you there and to keep you at that concert and to keep you coming back to it. And I've read so many people online saying that, like, every time they're at a concert, the music sounds different, all this stuff. And to me, it just sounds like repetition, like it's just being repeated, because really it's like that way with any song on the radio, any song that any musician plays. It sounds different every time it's played live, like it's not like this singular phenomenon that occurs at a Grateful Dead show, but It's the fact that everyone says it, so it seems like everyone else says it. And I think that's a problem in our society, applying this Grateful Dead phenomena to the whole of society. It's consumeristic. It keeps you locked in that space with those people, with that mindset, with that philosophy, which is preaching just the philosophy is, it is what it is. And I don't agree with that, because it's never what it is. It's always happening, and it's always been happening, and we have the power to influence how it happens. And this mindset of like clocking out, dropping out, it's like it gets you, it really just doesn't really get you that far. And I've seen so many cool, unique people. I think a lot of the fans are artists, but by being in an environment that's so like persuasive and so like conformity inducing, I just see like a lot of the same art. That's the thing, like same style, same like color scheme, like all this stuff. And I'm like, it just seems like copycats, and it seems like this whole like herd-minded aquarium of people. Like that's what I see. And I say aquarium because I notice a lot of them happen to be fish fans as well. And again, another one of these cults that really, I don't think it's that great for America to have this mindset of gods, you know? Like I feel like when you destroy your own personal ego like that and share the spirit with everyone around you, when you come back to your own sort of self-realization, it's like, it's in a higher sense because you've just experienced like this whole elevated spirit, right? And I think it changes you. I think that I've just noticed, based on observation, that a lot of these people who claim to have this, like, you know, relenting and shared sort of spirit, that they're like hippies like that, it doesn't really seem like they are, because like it only applies to those deadheads. It doesn't apply beyond that, you know. And it's like you lose it after you come back from the show, and it's just like, oh, grateful that you know, that grateful sense. And I don't think we should be grateful for what we have if what we have is not working for us, you know. And I've just seen so many people accept things for the way they are just because they're told that they should be grateful for what they have. And yes, while I think that being grateful for what you have is critical for a fulfilled existence, it's like, you don't have to be grateful for everything, especially if it's not working for you, especially if you don't want it. Like, you shouldn't be grateful for something that you don't want and don't need. And I've just seen too many Grateful Dead fans get acclimated to what I think even they themselves know is contrary to their own personal beliefs. That's just all I'm gonna say on that, really. I've noticed a lot of hypocrites in that crowd, and I've seen a lot of hypocrites in every crowd, but I see it a lot in Grateful Dead fan base, perhaps most of all, and to one of the greatest extremes possible. And I really hate the Grateful Dead. I think they're one of the most manipulative bands of all time. This is just a cash cow. It's gonna keep on generating profit as long as people keep buying into this. Just is, I mean, think for yourself. I'm not shitting on the music, really. The music is mid. It's just jam band music. They've got a few good hits, but it's nothing like worth traveling multiple shows for. And I'm just gonna be honest, it's had its heyday, and right now it's really just corporation driven, and it's just sickening to see what it's doing to America and to people. Hope you have a great day. Check out True American by Foxy. The link in description, and peace out.